5 essential items you should pack when traveling with small children, especially if you're traveling alone with 2 or 3 kids, especially if you're a twin mom like me, plus a bonus tip at the end. So make sure you stick around until the end because it's one item that I don't see a lot of videos talking about this. So let's dive in. I've been doing a lot of research on how to travel with small children alone since this is going to be my first international trip to visit my family in Brazil with my twins. They're almost 4-year-olds now, and I hope it helps you on your next upcoming trip. Number 1 on the list is a wagon, a stroller wagon, not a regular stroller like this one, but a wagon. Let me explain why. Last time I traveled, I was traveling with 2 small babies, 11-month-old. And in that case, when they're very small, they're still fitting in a double stroller like this one. It's fine because they nap a lot. They need their space to sleep. So in that case, I would recommend a regular stroller when you're traveling with an infant to close to toddler. But if your kid or your multiple kids are toddlers, which means they're already walking and running around, I would definitely recommend a wagon. Because in a wagon, you can fit so much. You would be surprised. You can fit 2 to 3 children. They can even have a little corner to rest if they need, if they want to take a quick nap, especially if it's a late flight and they're probably going to be very sleepy anyway. From my experience, last time I traveled with a double stroller, I really didn't have a choice because they were infants and it was ideal for the time. But what I found is it was very stressful getting in on the plane. You can take the stroller all the way to the gate, which is wonderful. You can actually check it at the gate, at the door of the plane. But what we normally don't take into account is how stressful it is to try to disassemble it at the door while you have 2 screaming toddlers, or in that case, at the time I had 2 very cranky babies that were overtired and overstimulated. And we were just trying to get on the plane and trying to disassemble it and try to remove all the seats. And then when we were getting off the plane, it was even more stressful because it was a 10-hour flight to Brazil. And we were trying to figure out how to put the stroller back together. And at some point I got really upset because I thought the airport agent had broken it somehow because I couldn't figure out how to fit the seat. Like, you're not thinking straight. After a 10-hour flight overnight and you're exhausted and you didn't get enough sleep, you're not going to have enough patience to assemble a big bulky stroller at the gate. So this time around, I finally decided to buy a wagon. First of all, my kids are almost 4. They barely fit on a regular stroller. A lot of the items that I'm going to describe in this video is going to be linked up in the description below, so make sure you check it out if you're interested. And this wagon is so easily to collapse, to stretch it out. The only thing you have to do is pull it. That's all. There's like just a little hook that you pull it up and you push it down. That's all you have to worry about at the door of a plane. So whatever we can do to simplify our trip, especially if it's a long trip, international, alone with kids, do it. It's going to save you so much stress. It's going to give you a lot of peace of mind in the preparation for the trip. If this video has been helpful to you so far, make sure you like, subscribe if you'd like to see more content related to parenting, and also leave a comment of your own experiences with traveling with kids. Any useful tip are welcome, so please let me know. Number 2 on the list is a hammock, a plane seat extender. A hammock is the perfect way to get your toddler, or at least it increases your chance of your toddler sleeping through the night. Because imagine, even for us adults, how hard it is to fall asleep sitting up. So a hammock will allow them to stretch their legs. You can just hook it on the tray table on the plane. You buckle it around the regular seatbelt of the plane. And this one specific hammock that I bought has the little buckles around the waist, which is amazing. It's like a little seatbelt that you can secure them. It's an extra safety mechanism while they're sleeping horizontally, because imagine like there's turbulence or there's a big impact all of a sudden, and and they're in the middle of their sleep, if they're not buckled in, it's very dangerous for them like to go flying up, right? So it's an extra safety mechanism to keep them buckled up in the horizontal position. Number 3, it actually goes without saying, snacks. Unlimited snacks. On the day of a trip, at least for me as a mom, I'm not going to be worried about how much junk food they're going to eat. Of course, I'm going to try to pack up as many healthy snacks as I can. But if they want to eat the occasional chocolate or chips or something that's a little bit more salty, it's okay. And there's no exact rule, in my opinion, as to what time they're supposed to eat and maintain the same dinner time or anything, because honestly, like, especially if you're taking the red eye and you're traveling at night, what are you supposed to do? You're at the airport for 4 hours. You're gonna probably have dinner at the airport and maybe a little late night snack right before getting on the plane. I'm pretty sure they're gonna miss the dinner service on the plane. So it's always better to feed them before you get on the plane and have the snacks ready in case of tantrums, to keep them distracted, to keep them excited about the trip, because it is going to be overwhelming, not just for you, but for kids, because it is going to be, in a way, exciting, but also stressful for kids to be in a very foreign environment with loud noises. So make sure you pack all your kids' favorite snacks, especially the favorite ones, because you can never go wrong with their favorite stuff. Number 4 is also goes without saying kind of item, which is the goodie bag. Maybe a lot of people don't think about it. When they think about goodie bags, they think, okay, I'm going to bring all their favorite toys, or at least, let's say, 5 small favorite toys that they have already at home. But honestly, the best kind of items to pack in a goodie bag are the novelty ones. If you're in Canada, go to Dollarama. If you're in the US, go to Dollar Store. Buy a few cute little toys that you know that they're going to love. Put it in a goodie bag and only open that goodie bag at the airport, preferably when you're closer to the gate. I would recommend this kind of system for the goodie bag. Let's say open the goodie bag one time after check-in and take out one item. At the security check, take out another item to keep things exciting for them. And tell them, we're going to take one item at a time, and preferably put it in a goodie bag that is not transparent. Because if you put it in a transparent goodie bag, they're going to be able to see through the bag and see everything that's inside. And they're going to get overwhelmed with all the options that they have. So it's best to keep the element of surprise, if you will. If you're a twin mom or you have multiple children, you know what it means to have kids fighting over stuff all the time. You want to keep the stress of this trip to a minimum. And number 5 on the list, which is their pillow and their blankie, especially the blankie, because at least my kids, they love their blankie. They want to take their blankie everywhere. They take it to daycare. They take it to the park. If they have something to hold on to grab onto that represents security to them, it's going to soothe their anxiety. It's going to help them transition well through this trip. You can just place it in a corner of the wagon. They can just rest their head on it and fall asleep like that until you get on the plane. Also, the pillow and the blankie are very useful if your kid wants to stretch their legs and sleep on the gate seats. Whatever you can do to provide a more comfortable and soothing environment for your kids to reduce their stress and their feeling of being overwhelmed, do it. Now on to the bonus tip that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. This is actually an item that is crucial if you have toddlers that are already potty trained, which is the portable potty. And this one specifically, it's collapsible, it's very compact, it's not bulky, it doesn't take a lot of space, and it is gonna save you the trouble of having to pack and unpack everything that you're carrying and drag 2 toddlers, 2 to 3 toddlers or preschoolers to the bathroom every time one of them needs to use the washroom. So I found that this is actually useful anywhere. This kind of portable potty, I use it all the time in parks, especially if the washroom is too far away. And you know how stressful it can be when one wants to go, the other one doesn't, they're entertained with something else, and then you have to drag them both, or if you have 3 kids or 4, you have to drag 4 of them if you're alone to the washroom, and all of them have to stand outside of the bathroom stall quietly, patiently until the other kid goes pee or poop. So the portable potty is a lifesaver. So imagine you're at the security checkpoint. There is no access to washrooms there. So what are you going to do? Leave the line and lose your spot on the line because they need to go? Obviously, for privacy and safety reasons, you can even, cover them up in a way that, nobody's looking. Well, we never know, right? So it's always good to keep their privacy protected. So that's what normally I do. I just stand in front of them. I try to, cover them up if it's a too much of an exposed place. More tips on the way. I hope this video helps. I'll see you next time.